So this is gonna be the last time this car is gonna turn on until we put everything back together. So we'll see how long this takes. That didn't sound good. We got the car jacked up on jack stands. It took a lot longer than I expected because I forgot how much of a pain it is to jack this car up. Like, you can't jack it up like a normal car. You have to first drive it on ramps. Hopefully the ramps don't slide out. They slid out for me. So I had to fight that for a while. And then I could jack it up, put it on 3-ton jack stands, and transition to the 6-ton ones that it's on right now. And somewhere in between all of that, I had to jack it up by the side because the jack doesn't like to fit under the car. But yeah, it's jacked up. Now I'm gonna drain the coolant and the transmission fluid, and then we can move on to probably pulling the front end apart and everything else. Looks pretty burnt. Not as much metal as I thought. I was expecting some metal on here. I was actually expecting a lot of metal on here because I know that I did grind it quite a bit, drifting and shifting from third to second and back to third, but it's actually not that much metal on here. So I guess the trans is fine. All right, now that we got all the fluids pretty much drained, the front end off, the hood off, and everything's exposed, we could start just disconnecting everything so the SR could come out. And what I'm gonna start with is the intercooler, the intake, the catch can, and pretty much everything bolted onto the SR that needs to move. And then I'll move on to the inside of the car where I'm gonna disconnect the harness from the ECU and pull the harness gear through the firewall so I can just pull it with the motor like on top of it. And then I'm gonna decide how I wanna go about pulling the motor. I'm not sure yet if I wanna pull the trans first and pull the motor out by myself, or if I'm gonna have my friends come, and then if they are coming, I could basically put the car down, pull it out of the garage, and pull everything together. So yeah, we'll see how I'm gonna go about that. But for right now, it's time to just start unbolting everything. Go, 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 go. There we go. Ooh, oil. Catch can off. It's a blow by. So I just took the intake off. There's a bunch of oil in here, and it's because of all the blow by because the ring let go. So that's cool. Now I gotta clean all this up. Look at all the oil right here. It's everywhere. Look at more oil. So the intercooler pipes are off now, and this is a lot more interesting than I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna just be like, I'll take the intercooler pipes off. There might be a few drops of oil. They're all soaked. Like you could see, few drops right here on the floor. From this inlet, there was oil on every single pipe, but the interesting one was when we took the pipe off on this side of the intercooler. Oh, you guys got to see this after. And then a bunch of oil came off from right here and this pipe, and I was too scared to tip it, but let's see if anything comes out. Yep, a bunch of oil in here, but come in here. Look at all that oil.
Wow. Dang, that's kind of a lot.
I'm buying a new intercooler. Okay. Let's see how much oil comes out of this thing. Okay. Twist to break it free. Whoa. I didn't think there was gonna be stuff in there since I drained it. Why is it stuck? I didn't want to resort to doing it like this, but I had no choice because there's no room in here. But there you go. I had to pull the fan off, and now I could take everything out, I think. Come out. Sorry. All right, so we got the radiator out with the clutch fan, the AC fan, and the fan shroud. I tried pulling all this off together, but unfortunately it didn't work out how I wanted it to, because this is not just like a stock SR setup. I still have AC in this car, which made this a lot harder than it should have been. Instead of just being able to pull everything out, I had this AC dryer in the way. I forgot how hard it was because I put this all together to get everything out, but yeah, it's a pain. Basically, I have a KA AC system bolted onto my SR. So like it wasn't made to work. I kind of made it work using an adapter, but because it wasn't made to work, there's a lot of clearance issues. But yeah, radiator is out. Now we're gonna move on to cleaning up this mess I made, because if you guys ever drained a radiator, no matter how nice you try to do it and how much you try to prep beforehand by draining the radiator, it always makes a mess. It's getting pretty late, and the last thing we're gonna do for tonight is everything underneath the car, because I'm already all dirty and I figured why not just get it out of the way before we continue with the harness and everything inside the car tomorrow. So I don't want to like backtrack and bring all my dirt inside the car. So yeah, we're gonna take my exhaust off, and then we're gonna take my drive shaft off, the cross member off for the trans, and then we'll wrap it up and continue on tomorrow. What do you guys know about hose clamps on the exhaust hangers? So I just got this midsection off, and I was looking, I was like, wait a minute, something's not right here. That jack stand is not touching the body of the car. So I started looking, I was like, wait a minute, the one on this side is at a completely different height. So we didn't make that much progress yesterday because we started really late and we were already tired before we started, but we did get the intercooler off, drive shaft, exhaust, radiator, front end, and etc. Today my goal is to get everything else off of the motor and hopefully pull it, but if we don't pull it, it'll still be pulled by the end of the video. And yeah, one thing you guys might notice is how many parts come out of this car, and that's the one thing that like a lot of people forget. When you take a car apart, there's just a lot of parts you have to deal with. So what I ended up doing is I picked up a wire rack to hopefully put everything on. It's the same as the one I have in my garage that I sort like all my fluids and stuff on. And yeah, right now what we're gonna be doing is putting a twin of this wire rack together and putting it on the other end of my garage. That was not closed that bit. So we got our little side quest of putting the shelf together done. As you guys can see, works pretty good at storing everything, and I did leave this massive area and then the top open for like the rest of the stuff we're gonna pull off the motor, such as like the battery, the harness, and etc., whatever else comes off of it. But yeah, you guys can see how useful having somewhere to put all the stuff that comes out of this thing comes. But yeah, now I guess I'll pull the harness out. So you guys probably won't be able to see me doing this just because I can't open the door anymore. It's hitting the wall of my garage, and I only have this much room to get down here, but the ECU is right here. All I'm gonna do is unbolt the ECU from the chassis and then unplug the main connector off of it and then start feeding it through the firewall so we can pull it out. Okay. Now it's not connected to the chassis anymore. Just let it spill, I guess. Good thing we have a bucket.
Yeah.
battery out. There you go. What are you stuck on? Everyone always makes fun of my crushed frame rail, but they don't have this clearance. Look at that. Perfect. So I just decided that I wanted to make this thing as easy as possible to pull out because I realized I'm probably gonna have to pull it myself. And because of that, I wanted to take the trans out, the downpipe off, and everything that I could to get it out, thinking it would make everything easier. What ended up happening is I spent like 8 hours fighting this trans to get it out because I can't get to any of the bolts. And then after that, I got the trans slipped off the engine, but I could not get it out of the actual trans tunnel because of the fact this car has AC. And you might be thinking, how does the AC system lead to not being able to get a trans and a downpipe off? Well, this car has an AC system for a KA. The AC lines run right where the head is, so the engine can't tilt back pretty much. And normally the way you pull a trans is you have the engine tilt back so you can slip it out of the trans tunnel. But because I can't tilt the engine back because it's hitting that line, it was such a pain. The engine's coming out. Yesterday, as you guys seen, we got the trans off and I finished taking off everything that needs to come off to pull the engine. The only things I have left to do is take off the 2 nuts for the engine mounts, strap the hoist on, and pull it out. So it's coming out today. To pull it out, I'm gonna be using these brackets that attach to the head of the SR to pull it. I don't remember what brand these are, but I remember they come in handy. I've had these for a while. And they also make these for a KA. This is what I used when I had a KA. This, along with the engine leveler, makes this pretty easy, so let's see how I do pulling this thing by myself, which I had never done before.
Now? Break.
It's not coming out tonight. I was talking to the camera woman and I was like, dang, this jack is pretty clapped looking. I don't know if I'll actually be able to lift high enough to get it out. And then she said, I should probably test it before we start pulling it out. And we realized the jack doesn't lift high enough. And look, it is maxed out right now. This is not high enough to get that engine out. And this is how high it should be going. Like, looks fine. So we got the engine out. As you guys might have seen, it was a bit of a hassle because we tried taking it out last night and we figured out that the hoist wasn't working. So a bunch of my friends reached out to me and actually said that I could come get their hoist or they'll bring me a hoist, and I honestly didn't want to inconvenience any of them, so I wanted to try just dumping a bunch of fluid in it and seeing if it would last, because it was just straight leaking out. So I figured, like, hopefully I could put fluid in it and just make it last to pull the motor out real quick. And it ended up working. We got the engine out. So now we can move on to disassembling it and seeing what went wrong. But that's for the future. We're all done. Thank you.
Not the right level.
Shouldn't it be up here?